this is Sherry at djsundry.blogspot.com, and welcome to the 3 Girl Jam April Showers with Ribbon Challenge. Today I have a fun card from you, and I pulled out my Imagine to use it. So let's just jump right in and get started. Now I'm using quite a few supplies, and I will show you what those are. The first thing I'm using is the Cricut Imagine More cartridge, and I'm using this cute little bird. Now this is one of the bonus cuts from this particular cartridge, so you can't take it apart, and it also has 2 images. Now I spent some time on the phone with ProvoCraft today, and apparently they believe that my problem with the craft room talking to my Imagine is my internet connection, and so at this point I can't use the craft room, so I just cut and print both of them, and I cut them at 5 inches, and that gave me the bird that you'll see in just a minute. So that's the first thing I needed. I'll set that aside. I'm using my Ranger Archival black ink. I'm using from 3 Girl Jam, I'm using the red from the red, white, and blue seasonal ribbon. Set that aside. I'm using labels number 5 from Spellbinders, and I'm using these 2 largest ones. Set that aside. I have this paper that I showed on a recent haul video, or if I haven't shown it, yes, I showed it a couple weeks ago. This is from Echo Park, and this is called Dots and Stripes, and that's what they all are. Different sizes, dots and stripes. Stripes are going in different directions and are different sizes, so I'm using a few pieces of paper from that collection. Then I'm using 2 stamp sets. From Stampendous, I'm using Happy Messages, and from this one I'm using Happy Birthday, and then also from K. Andrew Designs I'm using Splashtastic Summer. So let's get going on it. To start out with, I have just a white card base here, and I'm not sure if this is just a piece I had set aside. I believe it was probably just plain Georgia Pacific cardstock, and I've got it cut to where it's 5.5 inches wide by 8.5 inches long, and so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to score that at 4.25 inches, just like that, and I'm going to fold that over, and that's going to be the outside of my card. Now I have to say, I had all my pieces cut and ready to go, and then I was thinking of what I was going to do on the inside of my card, and I ended up changing it up a little bit. So actually what I had planned for the inside of my card is going to be the outside of my card, and what I had planned for the outside of my card is going to be the inside of my card. So kind of, but I'll show you. So to start with, I have this piece of the striped paper, and we're going to put that on the inside of the card. And I'll show you a little bit more why in a minute, because I really liked the way that when I was playing with it, I really liked the way that it laid by using the scrap pieces on the front instead of the inside, which is totally backwards from the way that I normally do things. But that's okay. You can do things backwards sometimes. Now this is the extra chicken that I cut, and I could just set it aside and save it for later, but I see that it didn't print real well on the top, so it's probably not a cut I'll be able to use, but I'll just set that aside. Now this is where my Spellbinders die came in. This is the back side, and it had some tape on it. I didn't want to use that. I want to use the polka dot side here, so we're just going to tape that down. Now obviously I can't use or well, I could, but I'm not going to use the colored page, or this pattern paper, sorry, to stamp on, because it's a little bit too busy. Sometimes you can get away with that, but on this particular print it's just too busy to do that. So this is where we're going to do our first stamp section. Let me get rid of this extra adhesive I got on there. There we go. Okay, so this is a second piece that I cut, and this was just a piece of blue scrap from my scrap pile, and I ran it through and cut it, and then I sent it back through and embossed it, so there's a little bit of an edge. It's not showing up really well, but it's still there. And this is where I'm going to do my Happy Birthday. Now this particular card, there's really not going to be a lot of room on it to put much of a handwritten message. That's okay. I don't mind. Sometimes you can get away with that, and in this particular card I'm going to. And this is where I'm going to do my happy birthday. Now my original plan was to say splashing by to say, but unfortunately I do not have any stamps that say splashing by to say. And I didn't really want to print it from my computer, though I could have. Okay, so the happy birthday is going to go on the inside of the card rather than the outside this time. And we'll just center right there. So the inside is all done. And now we're going to move to the outside, which I've messed up a bit. Okay, so this is the outside, and this is where the scraps come in. So I used the red. Now this is the opposite side of the polka dot on the inside. I'm doing them exactly opposite on the outside of the card. So this piece I cut at 5 3/8 inches. Now, I don't know how wide it is. I didn't measure it because it was a scrap. Let's see. Looks like it's about an inch and 3/4. So that piece is going to go there. This piece is a little bit smaller so that you can see the stripe peeking up and down through it. So that's going to go there. And I'm showing the back side of my image here. This is my cute little bird. And he's going to go right about there. So up in the top up here is where I'm going to stamp my sentiment for the outside. So this is from the Splashdastic Summer by K. Andrew Designs, and it's getting to be that time of year where I hope to be using this set a little bit more. I've got something on my card, so that's part of the reason I wanted to be sure that my little bird would cover it up. Hey, stopping by to say. So we've got that stamped, and now we can adhere our pieces. So we'll start with this piece. And again, as I said, I'm working opposite of what the inside of the card is, just to add some interest. And just leaving a very narrow border all the way around, just like that. And then the next piece is this piece. Isn't this paper a lot of fun? It just says, well, honestly, to me it says more spring, or I mean summer, than it says spring. Makes me think of like umbrellas on a beach would be something fun to do with this paper. There's so many fun things you could do with this paper. All right, so now we're going to put a little bird just popping by there. Now that's kind of cute, but what is a card without some ribbon? So I've pulled out my 3 Girl Jam ribbon, and I've already cut a piece, and I'm going to use my bow maker, and I'm just going to tie a simple bow. So to do that, I'm going to bring the piece around from the back, and we're just going to cross it. Then we're going to take the let me show that again. So we're going to cross it, then our tail will go up and back over and under, and then all we do is tie a knot, and we're done. Simple, isn't that? You can check out this bow maker at 3 Girl Jam. I have always kind of struggled with my bows, and I have found that this bow maker has made life so much easier when it comes to making bows. So now I'm just going to grab my glossy accents here, and I thought I had it prepped and ready to go, but obviously I did not. So let's loosen that up again. There we go, and just a dab of glue. And we were just going to put that right where the umbrella handle is. Now obviously that tie is far too big, but that's okay. I'm just going to trim it off there and trim it off there. And I may even go back and trim it a little bit more after it dries. Okay, so now there's a couple more things I wanted to do. I wanted to kind of accent his eye a little bit, and I don't have black like pearl pins or anything like that. So what I thought I would do is just draw in his eye, colored in where it was brown before, just colored in with my black pen. And then I'm going to take a drop of glossy accent and just drop that. Now that looks kind of milky right now, but it will dry completely clear. And then I have some stickles here. This is candy cane stickles, and I thought I would emphasize some of his boots. Now my original plan was to emphasize his whole boot with it, but now that I see there are little fine lines, no, we'll just do the whole boot. I'm going to give him bright red boots. I have to say that I looked and looked today while I was out for rain boots, because I have another project in mind that I would like to make rain boots, and it seemed like several months ago, maybe in the fall, there were rain boots everywhere at Walmart. Cute rain boots. Today they didn't have any, and I looked at several other places. Joann's did have some, but they were quite expensive, and I wasn't willing to pay that much money for the boots. So I decided, I'll hold off and save that project for a different day when I have some time to find some less expensive boots, maybe when they go on clearance. So there we have it. Stopping by to say happy birthday. So thanks so much for stopping by today. And be sure to run over to the challenge blog, and I'll put a link in this post so that you can link up a project and play along with us in our April Showers blog. And in the meantime, remember to take some time to enjoy the little things. Have a great day. Bye.